Now that we have completed the membership candidate registration form, it's time for us to take a look at the next step of the process, the initiate registration form. Before you get started with this form, there's several things that you need to collect to help you with getting this form submitted. The first is the date of third degree and initiation. A second is a list of the MCs who did and did not complete the membership process. And for those that did not complete, a reason why they did not complete the process. There are also some important notes that I want to pass along. First, your initiate fees should be collected prior to the performance of third degree. In this form, like others, the sponsor and DOB must approve, and your initiate registration and the associated fees should be submitted to headquarters along with all approvals in OPUS within 30 days following third degree. After that date, a 25% late fee is automatically added to the form. Now, how can we submit that payment? There's 3 different ways. First, you can pay online using one of the payment gateways. Second, after your sponsor and DOB have approved the form, you can call national headquarters to pay with a credit card over the phone. And third, you can mail a check or a money order to national headquarters. Now that we have completed our membership candidate registration form, we are ready to get started on our initiate registration. The first thing we need to do is the appropriate officer needs to log into their profile in OPUS and go to the Chapter Forms option on the menu bar. When the list of chapter forms appears, you will select Initiate Registration. Like we saw before, you'll have 2 boxes on this page. The top one, the In Progress box, will show any pending initiate registration forms that are currently owned by the member who is logged into OPUS. The second box will show all initiate registrations for the chapter regardless of owner or status. To create a new initiate registration, click the New Initiate Registration button that is immediately above those boxes. Now this may take a moment to load as it is pulling information from the chapter record to pre-populate this form. Now as you scroll down, the first thing you will need to enter is the date of initiation. This is your third degree. Immediately above that, you will see the school year section, and that typically does not need to be adjusted unless you are extremely late in reporting initiates for a previous year. So for this example, we're going to set our initiation date as December 31st. And then, in the existing members box, we will need to select an option of whether each member was initiated or not. This is a simple yes or no drop-down box. And if they're initiated, you don't have to do anything else. If they were not initiated, you will need to provide an option of why they were not initiated into the organization using one of the available options in the drop-down. You also have the option on this form to change the order that your members will appear on the chapter roster. So if you would like individuals to be assigned a number in a specific order on your roster, make sure that the order here matches that order by using the arrows to the right of each person's name. Now, once you've completed the form and verified that everything looks correct, you can submit the form for sponsor approval. Now here we can see that the initiate registration form has now been approved by both our sponsor and director of bands, and it is now back into our pending submissions for the final step of the process. To get back into the form, simply click the link in this box. Once it loads, you'll see several things on the Form History tab on the right-hand side of the page. Here you can see what day and time your sponsor and DOB approved the form and when it was sent back to you to finish the process. So now that we have both approvals in place, it's time to submit our initiate fees. If you look at the top of the form, it shows you a real-time look at what the price due is. If the form becomes late, the form status will update, and late fees will be calculated and show in this box as well. Now, when you are ready to submit payment, you can do so using one of the three methods discussed earlier. If you are submitting online, you may use one of the links provided here in the directions to reach the payment gateway. Once you've submitted that payment, we recommend that you add a note over in the Notes section letting us know that payment has been submitted. This is especially important if you mail a check or money order. Once National Headquarters has received your payment, we will add another note in that section letting you know that your payment has been received. That section will also be used once your initiate materials, the shingles and membership pins, have been shipped. A final note will be added once that shipment has been delivered. So now that we have submitted the payment, we're going to go ahead and add that note and then change the status of the form to Form and Payment Sent to National Headquarters. Now, this final step of changing the status to Form and Payment Sent locks in the on-time or late status for the form, and it's very important, as it is also the only way that your initiate registration shows up in the to be processed queue for National Headquarters staff. If it stays in the DOB approved pending collection of fees status, it never actually comes to Headquarters to be processed. So you'll want to make sure that you do that as the final step of submitting your initiate registration form.